I'm Chelsey.
And I'm Sammy, and this is
Deepish. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We're back with another episode.
And we have the most special treat for you today because we have Lucy Hutchins on the podcast.
Cool girl.
If you guys know Lucy, you know how cool she is. She gives best friends cooler older sister.
That is the truest thing. You said that to her during the podcast. Yeah. You are my best friend's older sister that we want to be.
Yeah. That you want to aspire to be with their fashion, with everything that she does. Is just like everything she talks about, everything she touches just is cool.
Yes.
But she also is just so kind and they talk about being a girl's girl, but she genuinely is.
And I loved the conversation we had. And I feel like we tapped into some of her passions of obviously fashion. She's a personal stylist. That's like her background is fashion. And she just gave us like all of just the history, knowledge, education about fashion, fast fashion, sustainability, thrifting. I felt so inspired, gave tangible tips about going through your closet, being intentional, finding your personal style. It's so important. We drew this through line of how fashion relates to really your personal identity. Everything we were discussing made me feel inspired to be intentional with not just my style, but honestly my life.
And she lives her life with such intention and uses fashion as a vessel to cure her inner child or take care of her future self. The way that she phrases everything and does everything with intention.
I think that's my goal moving forward. After sitting down with her, I think my next big word is intent. I want the things around me, the people I'm around, just the stuff that's on my body or in my house. I want it to be intentional so it brings me joy and peace and comfort and adds to my life versus taking it away. Like,
this was honestly probably one of my favorite interviews. I loved all of her takes on everything. I feel like she gave really good tips at the end. I was like, I'm glad we have this recording because I want to take actual notes on where to take my fashion because I've been feeling so lost. And as you get older and you get into motherhood or adulthood and you lose a lot of that passion for fashion. And so I think a lot of people will feel inspired and ignited from this episode.
Yes, exactly. And here is Lucy.
Everyone's entering this new era, and with that comes just this learning curve of wanting to dress different. It doesn't matter if you're a new mom or if you are going into the office or you have a brand new job or you're entering the dating pool. You want to dress different. You like to match this new era of your life.
And that's what it is. For me, I love fashion. I love style. I love dressing up. But I don't want to freaking go so hard for pickup. I'm at pickup and just wearing kitten heels and a dress. Or I look like garbage and I'm wearing pajamas.
There's an in-between there.
Yes.
And I just want functionality is huge because, like I said, so many of my clients are new moms. And so they have babies and their bodies are changing so much and they're rediscovering themselves. And so being functional when you are chasing around a million kids, I'm going to put together an outfit that actually works for that.
So people just message you and they're like, hey, will you be my personal stylist? Or how does it work?
So I started taking clients in November and that was my initial like, hey, I'm taking 3 clients just to kind of test the waters. And I've never had to post again since then because I'll post client work that I've done or my client will post. And then it's just been all this word of mouth. And so I haven't even had the chance to make a website because people just DM me. So working on a website, Drew's going to make it for me. He's so good at that stuff.
What was your first session with someone like? Were you kind of nervous for that? Like, okay, how's this going to go?
Okay,
do you just go to their closet or what?
Yeah, so I have a Patreon account where I have a second Instagram and people pay $13 a month for 2 podcast episodes and a separate Instagram. And the Instagram is behind the scenes of everything. And it's a really tight knit community. There's 300 people total. So those girls, they're like my guinea pigs for everything. And so when I was like, I think I want to take on clients again, I started with my Patreon girls. And I did personal styling 10 years ago, right after I graduated fashion school. And then I was like, I'm just ready. My daughter's at a good age. I just want to like do something.
Yeah.
And so I put it out there. I was like, whoever wants it, 50 people wanted to do it. And so I just kind of slowly went down the list, just seeing in this day and age, because I did it 10 years ago, there were no Instagram stories, no way to really market myself. None of these cool apps where I can just copy the picture and just paste it with no background. That is so mind-blowing to me. I had none of that. So I'm just testing the waters. Canva, did not know what I was doing. And so I felt a little bit easier because we're a tight-knit group, and I was like, I know you, and you know I'm just practicing with you. And so I went to a few people's houses and did a few digitally. So it was a good practice for me to actually open it up to the public and kind of know what I was doing. But I just went into it like, I'm just learning. Every single time I'm going, I'm learning. I've been doing this for less than a year, and I just want to learn, and people are taking a chance with me, which is so amazing. And I know what I'm doing, but I still want to learn so much each time, and it's the best thing ever.
We'll
Love
get more
working with
into that,
women.
but
Yes.
let's back up a little bit. I want to get to know you a little
Yes.
bit. Lucy, welcome to Deep Fish.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. You guys are awesome.
I know.
so
Thanks
happy
for
to have you here.
I know. We're so happy. So a little bit about you. You're from Salt Lake County, right?
I grew up in Midvale. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like Cottonwood Heights area.
Oh yeah,
now.
nice. It's a
Okay.
nicer area.
I know Midvale for some reason is so rude, but I'm like,
Well, growing
Scared.
up there, I know. It's getting nicer. I feel like it feels a little bit more like sugar housey now.
Yes.
Lots of new stuff, but growing up there, it actually was scary. Like, I have lots of scary things happen in
where
my
was
neighborhoods.
like the cool places? Was it like Holidays, fancy and
Oh
like
yes,
what?
even Sandy was bougie.
Okay.
Holiday, Sugar House, Mill Creek, untouchable.
Oh my gosh, even now, like there's this street, you probably know it. Okay, it's on the way to that movie theater, that Cottonwood Megaplex, and it's called Cottonwood Lane. Have you ever been down it?
Yes. Is it in like Holiday-ish
Yeah, it's
area?
in Holiday, but
Yes.
it's called Cottonwood Lane.
Yeah.
Go on a drive with your family, drive that
The
street.
houses, insane.
They're humongous.
Yeah.
And they're just so unique. It's like Spanish style, modern, like everywhere so different.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see
gorgeous.
my neighbors.
Yeah. I want to have a neighbor. I don't want to see him.
Exactly. Me and my husband were looking up prices just for a lot was 5 million
Oh,
for a piece
my
of
gosh.
land for not even like an acre.
No, that's like stupid money.
So where are you guys now?
We're in Lehigh.
Okay. Do you like Lehigh?
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, it's like a perfect in between. We have a really close friend group, and some are in Provo, some are in Salt Lake, and so ours is the meeting
hub.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Because
great.
I feel like Lehigh, it feels claustrophobic a little bit, but do you feel like you have some breathing room
Yes,
there?
we're in a farm neighborhood.
So
We're in
nice.
an old neighborhood with lots of farms and a farmer just sold his lot, and there's like a small neighborhood built on the lot. So
Okay.
it's a small neighborhood of new houses, but we're even on the outskirts of that neighborhood, and so we have this view of all these huge trees. It's really, really quiet. People ride dirt bikes and golf carts around. It doesn't feel like the crowded kind of Lehigh, Saratoga neighborhoods, which is totally fine, but that's exactly what we wanted, just a little bit.
Yeah. So you feel like you'll be
more
there
chill.
for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so grew up in Midvale. How was family life growing up? Were you close with your family?
Yes. Yeah. I have two sisters, close with my parents. It's funny. We moved 7 times, but we stayed in the same ward because we loved our ward so much. So we just like boop, 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 right around the neighborhood. So when my sister turned 18, we finally moved out of Midvale because my mom had a dream of owning an alpaca farm.
So random and
I know.
awesome.
Yeah. She had a dream when she was
Like a literal dream or just like
an
this?
actual dream, like an actual dream of this future version of herself. And there were sheep surrounding her, and she was like spinning on a wheel. And my mom had never done that before. And she held onto that for her whole life. And right when my sister graduated, she just knew it's time.
It's time.
Yeah. And so they bought a house that had an acre of land. And they bought alpacas
No.
and goats and sheep. So they have a fiber farm. So this is so unlike
Wow.
my growing up. We did nothing like this.
Yeah.
And now we're farmers. It's so crazy.
Did she just learn everything?
Yes, she
Okay.
learned everything. She's an artist. She's been an art teacher. She's very, very much like that.
Okay.
Good at learning that kind of stuff. And she's such an inspiration to me. And she just can pick anything up, but that was her dream for so long. She was like, I'm just gonna learn. So the fiber farm is a fiber from the animals.
Yeah, explain that.
Yes, no. So fiber, like what you would make
Oh my gosh,
clothing
like
out of.
clothing
Yes.
fiber.
Yes, so the animals they have are alpacas, Angora goats, and Icelandic sheep. And so you can use all of their fiber for making yarn. And they all have a purpose. And it's not a farm where you would kill a cow for meat. You just shave the animal for their hair,
Wool or what-
their fiber. Yeah. And so we do shearing day twice a year. We're all wrangling the animals.
Oh my gosh.
I've never done anything like this. And now I'm a professional shearer. We have a shearer come and actually do the shearing, but we cart all of the fiber and we do everything. And my mom has just bags and bags of alpaca and
Okay, there's so many layers and so many questions I have.
And then she spins it on the wheel, and then she grows plants to make her own dye. And then she dyes the yarn that she hand spun from her animal in the dye that she grew in her garden.
Okay, so what is the through line there? Your childhood to her now, was there any signs of this of, okay, organic eggs?
No, literally no. We lived in a little townhouse for most of my teenage years. And my mom is so artsy and she can make anything beautiful, and she's so crafty and hands-on that
So
it
the
makes
crafty
sense.
element,
Yeah,
a little
it
bit.
makes
Okay.
sense.
Did
And
she talk about that dream a lot?
Not a
Was
lot.
it like someday mom's gonna have her farm?
No. Like, I knew about it, and one of our neighbors growing up had some land, and they had the llama, and I think my mom started toying with the idea of having animals there, but it wasn't even at our house, so it would have been impossible. And so I didn't really know until they actually started pursuing it and looking for a house with land. And now we're just a farm family. It's so interesting because we did not grow up
So
like
what's
that
her
at all.
mentality about it now? Is she just like, I'm living my dream, so happy that she's made it here?
Yes, and it's hard. Having a farm is
Yeah.
so freaking hard. I like do not envy the lifestyle at all. Like living there full time. I help where I can, but it's nothing compared to
And
actually
your dad's
taking
just
care.
down. He's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
sure,
My dad
honey.
actually did grow up on a farm.
Okay.
And so
That helps.
he's used to that lifestyle. But I mean, since he was like 17, he hasn't been on a farm. So it's new for everybody, but he's so down. He's like, whatever you want. Yeah.
I'll follow you
Yeah.
anywhere.
So have you tried to do anything with her yarn or anything with fashion? Does that connect at all?
I
Or
think
crochet a couple things maybe?
she's taught me how to crochet, and I'm not really into that, but I love the aspect of literally farm to table, but
Yes.
for clothing, literally starting from the ground up. That's what I love so much. So it really is amazing to see the process happen. I'm not a maker of things. My mom is. So seeing it actually happen is so inspiring. I love it so much.
And it probably makes you appreciate literally your items of clothing. You're like,
Yes.
this is from something, and appreciating that.
Well, and just the work that it takes to make a pair of socks, years from the animal to the whole process of the yarn to growing the dye for it, my mom spinning it, my mom crocheting it, like just for that. And then, then we get into all the fast fashion stuff, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, to see how long it actually takes to make a quality clothing item is actually insane.
Wild.
Yeah.
So your mom being artistic, did that feed into you growing up at all with your creative tendencies?
Yes. And my mom's the one who introduced me to thrifting.
Oh,
And
okay.
she is like a master thrifter, and she can flip anything. She's like a furniture flipper. She can make anything so gorgeous. So she's the one who introduced me to that lifestyle. And as a young kid and a teenager, so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not shopping at DI. Are you kidding? I'm not shopping at Savers. It smells so bad in there. If I see someone that I know in there, game over. If I saw someone from high school in there, it's the most embarrassing thing that could happen to me. And so it was like, no, I'm only shopping at the malls. All my high school, junior high days, I was very embarrassed of thrifting. But my mom had this method to finding the perfect outfit and turning any piece of furniture into whatever she wanted. She's just a master. And so I was definitely taking note, but I couldn't embrace it until later on
when
in
did
life.
that switch flip where you're like, actually, Mom, I'm sorry, thrifting is cool?
You know, so I went to fashion school
Yeah.
and I have a degree in fashion merchandising. So when I say I'm not a maker, I don't sew or anything like that. I do the back end of fashion stuff. And that's when I learned about fast fashion and what it was and how harmful it was and how it's destroying our planet. And I just vowed to never participate as much as I could, to be as close to 100% as I could for the rest of my life, to not buy fast fashion. I feel like when really cool, I was discovering vintage stores and a little bit more curated vintage stores
Totally.
instead of like DI. And that's when I was like, wait, my personal style is really expanding by shopping vintage and finding clothes secondhand. And I'm finding these insane, unique pieces that nobody else would wear. And I've got eyes on me and I'm just loving this so much. And then I went on a mission and I took a break from that. But on my mission, my goal was to never repeat an outfit. And I did. And so I was so resourceful and I thrifted a lot on my mission.
And then what would you do? Just get rid of it?
No, we would pass clothes around. We shared everything. And so learning how to mix and match different styles, like it was so fun. It became this game. It kept me really entertained on my mission. Then when I came back, I finished college, and then I really dove into secondhand thrifting. That's when I started my own business, my own thrift store, and I'm doing my best to not partake in fast fashion. And so that's why thrifting is so, so important to me. And not only for the environmental impact, but for my personal style as well. It just has helped so much. Yeah.
So growing up, you had mentioned, I am not shopping at the DI. This is embarrassing. Like, I feel like we grew up in such an iconic time, early 2000s.
Yes.
It girl fashion was everything. Like, who were some of your fashion inspirations growing up? Who did you want to be?
Oh, Avril Lavigne. Like I was very, I shopped at Hot Topic,
Okay.
and like I was very, very skater punk in elementary school and junior high. When I got into high school, I just wanted True Religion jeans and Ed Hardy. That's all I really cared about. But elementary school, that's when my personal style truly started. And I'm always tapping into that version of myself. High school was like, the years
Trying to
disappeared.
be,
Like that
to be
me
someone
at all.
else. Yeah.
And that's just how it is in high school. It's just how it goes, and it's totally fine. But my personal style now, I'm always tapping into that younger version of myself because I was obsessed with Avril Lavigne and Amy Lee from Evanescence. I loved Evanescence so much. And even Blink-182, Travis Barker's Mohawk. I wanted a Mohawk so bad. And just that punk way of dressing, I still think is the most incredible thing ever. I might tap into that one day. Who knows?
You just show up, you just mohawk it out.
But I feel like that is a little bit unique because me, it was Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus. That is who I wanted to be, like Lizzie McGuire. But I feel like Avril Lavigne, that seems different from a lot of the girls our age. Were you connecting with others, or did you feel other?
I just feel like I kind of always dressed different from my friends, but that didn't affect what type of friends I was attracting. And just since I was young, I wanted to look as different as possible. And so I didn't really care. And again, high school, disregard everything I'm saying. Everyone who knew me in high school is probably like, what are you talking about? You're wearing 2 polos at the same time. But I just love this idea of looking so different and having different people that I look up to and shopping at different places. That was just really important to me. And it didn't really affect who I was drawn towards. I had a really super normal Mormon friend group growing up, but
what do you think that is? The need and want and the confidence to stand out and be different. I think a lot of people just want to fit in, especially at a young age. Like, don't look at me. But wanting that, where do you feel like that comes from?
My mom just really pushed me to always dress however I wanted. Her and my grandma were the ones taking me into Hot Topic to buy all of my school clothes. And anything I wanted to wear, my mom was like, she never said anything. I was wearing fingerless fishnet gloves and ties. And I had these earrings that were like bolts. They were fake, but they looked like bolts that I like screwed into my ear. And my mom was just like, love it. Like chains, plaid pants. Yeah. And she just really never tried to stop me. And so it made me so curious about all the things that I could wear. And I for sure lost that just as I went into 9th grade, 10th grade. Getting that again as an adult is so, so important to have this individuality. It just is so, so important to me.
Totally. I know I have this vivid memory of popping in my VHS tape, recording an episode of Lizzie McGuire. Then I would go back, rewind, press pause, look at her outfit, and memorize her hairstyles and go to my closet and pick what she was wearing, anything similar, and then copy the hairstyles.
Oh my gosh.
But I feel like that confidence is like on fire at that age. But it's so sad that you slowly kind of lose that and try to fit the mold a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I have this coat that reminds me of Lizzie McGuire, and I'm like, that's all I want is to be her.
Tap into that again. Yeah. And just as I've gotten older, tapping into my inner child in so many different ways is so healing. It's all I ever want to do now is do things that my younger self would be proud of, because that version of me still exists inside of me, which is the craziest concept ever. And my future self exists inside of me. And tapping into all these versions of me, it all comes back to personal style, which is so fun and so crazy. The possibilities are really endless.
Yeah, I'm glad that it sounds like your mom was a big advocate for like just you.
Yeah.
In whatever avenue you want to take. How was that growing up religiously with style? Because also I feel like growing up super Mormon, especially when we did, there is a mold of what you should look like.
Yeah.
And bolt earrings are not it. Did you feel that at all growing
yeah,
like, at
in those like
church, or-
young teenage years, I definitely felt that modesty really being pushed. And even in my home, it's just the norm to wear a shrug to homecoming. You don't have a sleeveless dress at prom. You wear something on top of it. And I don't hold that against my mom for pushing modesty at all, because that was our culture. You know, it's totally fine. But one thing my mom was really good at is she was a bikini mom.
Love that.
And I was the only one in a bikini ever, anywhere I went, any pool party. And it wasn't until I got older, I was like, why is no one else? It was like, how is no one else wearing a bikini? I don't understand. You're just trying to cover just your stomach. You're still in basically your underwear, but just your stomach's not showing. It was so
Like the
confusing to
concept.
me. Yeah. And my mom never talked about her body ever.
That's so important.
Yes. And that has been so huge for me. I've just never thought twice about my body.
Really?
Just growing up, like it was so neutral for me. And so having a bikini mom really helped, and being a bikini person throughout, never feeling shame for that at all, that was really huge. And so it didn't matter that wearing a shrug or something was important to a dance, because I still had this confidence instilled in me that it didn't really matter.
And it makes me happy knowing that a mom has that much influence over a daughter, even in a very intense religious upbringing.
Yeah.
It's powerful, especially you raising a daughter,
Yes.
knowing that you are going to be that big force of
Yes.
gravity in her life, and how she's going to view her body, her personal style, her confidence. You're the foundation of that.
I know. Yeah. You're the blueprint for your children, and it's so important. My mom was a really good example of that.
I love that. Okay. I feel like in high school, though, did you have this where DI started becoming cool, like hipster?
It wasn't until college. Like literally Macklemore's thrift shop song was life-changing.
Yes.
Life-changing, because I was really into thrifting at that point, and Macklemore was my favorite artist. I was doing school projects on him. I was so obsessed. So your favorite artist coming out with a song that is promoting your favorite thing in the whole world that no one else was super into, it was so game-changing. I saw a shift in people's shopping habits, and it was very, very interesting.
But you were thrifting prior to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that just changed. It just normalized it. Made it so cool. I feel like that's what made it so cool.
Totally.
Like where you can go get cool, weird shit.
That's like the hipster
Yes,
era.
like that era is
was
hipster
so,
era.
and then DI became cool. It was like, oh, you got that at frickin' Forever 21. You're weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when did Moby Thrift, you're thrifting, you're loving that. When did that entrepreneurial side come out?
Yeah. So my very last class in college was you had to create a business.
Okay.
And so I created Moby Thrift, and it was originally going to be in a Airstream trailer. So it was like a mobile thrift store. That's why it was Moby. It was MOBI.
Love that.
For Moby, like a mobile thrift store. And I wanted to travel around to festivals and farmers markets and just sell vintage from this Airstream trailer. Still a genius idea. I'm sure so many people do that now, but this was groundbreaking 10 years ago. So I made the whole business plan, and then you just like turn it in and you just get graded on your business plan. And then I got married right after I graduated college, and my husband, Drew, he is just like go-getter.
Yeah.
He is such an entrepreneur at his core. And just getting married, being so young, he just turned 20, like so young. But he read this book called, I don't remember, it's something about $100. It's like, if you have $100, you should do something with it. And he was like, we need to start your business. You created an entire business plan. We need to start it. And so we started looking at Airstream trailers, and just found that it was really hard to get a permit to park and sell unless you were a food truck. And so I was like, okay, what if we just sold used clothes online? Because people don't like digging through a thrift store. I do. What if I just did it for them and I found all the good stuff? And so we created Moby Thrift. We lived in a basement apartment, and we had a little backdrop, and oh my gosh, the things we were selling, I can't even. We were like selling H&M clothes. But that wasn't really the point for me. I hadn't really gotten into vintage at that point. It was like, I'm finding good stuff secondhand, and you don't like thrifting, and so it doesn't really matter where it's from. I found you a cool shirt.
Did you start on Instagram, or how did you start promoting
Yeah,
it?
we started an Instagram and then just our website. And we were just collecting stuff from DI and Savers when Savers wasn't $1,000. It's so expensive now.
Okay, but you probably know this. My cousin told me this yesterday because she was thrifting, and she was like, you can literally bring a shirt.
Yeah,
and
you get 20% off. Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
shut up.
No. But that's great information for people to know because Savers is so expensive. Like, why am I spending $80 here every time I come?
But do you think that they have good stuff?
Yes.
What's your roster?
I would say I hardly go to Goodwill just because there's not one near me. There's
Okay.
2 in the Salt Lake area. For price, DI.
Yeah.
100%. For a little bit better stuff, Savers. So expensive.
But is it location? Are you like, I need to go to a nicer area?
I have a few DIs that I prefer. Like, I love the Savers off 7200. These are for Utah people. Sorry, anyone not in Utah, this will make no sense. But yeah, the Midvale Savers is actually really good. And the Savers in Mill Creek, the 3300 one, those are really, really good. And then the Taylorsville Savers is amazing.
So you're a Savers girl, but it's expensive.
I do. Yeah. It's just such good stuff.
So was your husband, did you guys always connect on this level of?
Never. He was going to be an orthodontist. He was getting ready to go study to be an orthodontist right when we got married.
Did you randomly just tell him about Moby Thrift? Like, oh, this project I did.
Yeah. We were dating during college. And so he was there for my whole graduation of college while I was creating Moby Thrift. So he knew all about it. And then he was like, we need to start this. And he knew nothing about fashion, nothing about thrifting. He was like, I'll do all the back end stuff, but you do all the clothing stuff. And if you teach me what to look for, I'll look for men's stuff. And we would tag team DI and just separate. Then when we launched, it was so small, but there was nothing like it at the time. There really was no online little secondhand stores. There were the big guys like Depop, eBay, obviously, but to have a little local one where people could just like come pick up off of our porch if they wanted to, there was nothing like it. It's funny because now Drew works in fashion. He does production and manufacturing, and he knows so much. He's a vintage collector now. And so now we have bonded on that because our whole life has been built on it basically. And so it is so cool to be able to share that. He doesn't like thrifting. He never ever goes to like Savers or DI. I think he probably has PTSD from our early days of Moby, just like living the smell, the overstimulation. Now we really, really can bond on
What's
vintage.
his style like? When you met him to now? Was he-
when I met him, like H&M, Vans, that was his style. And now it's like very much Jonah Hill street style. Any sort of crazy vintage t-shirt, whatever pants he can buy, like Carhartts. He loves Carhartts. And he's a big sneaker guy. So any sort of cool sneaker.
My husband's a sneaker head, and I hate it because
Do
I'm just
you have
like,
a whole room in your home taken up by sneakers?
I'm gonna send you a picture after this. It's
He's
bad.
really slowed down on the sneakers, but there was a time in Moby where we were reselling streetwear and sneakers. And so that was just an era, and we're not in that era anymore. And he's definitely chilled on the sneakers, but that's his style now. Totally vintage, 100%. His whole wardrobe is vintage.
So at the point of that conversation when he was like, let's start Moby, where were you at when you graduated from college? Did you have an idea of what you wanted to do with it, or a dream that you were going to make happen, or where were you at in life?
So I was doing personal styling then.
Oh, okay.
And I was doing tons of photo shoots. That was what I was styling for. I was pulling wardrobe and bringing it to a shoot. And
how do you even get into that?
From fashion school, I had a million connections. I was doing lots of fashion shows too, helping behind the scenes. Utah has an amazing fashion world. And so I just met so many photographers, so many models, so many people who were running fashion shows. I met all the people that I needed to in school. And so it was great for the connections. People knew I was doing styling and they would just reach out to me, and
So
just
at
the
that
more
point,
I did.
you were like content. You were like, this is great. I'm doing what I love. Or were you wanting to start something of your own?
Yeah, it was not a moneymaker, especially being so small. So many people just expected me to do it for free. And I just didn't really know. Marketing yourself is so different now than it was then. It's so much easier now.
Well, they think it's more of a hobby versus a skill and profession.
And I was so young. I didn't know anything at all. And so I was just taking anything I could for opportunity and to build my portfolio. And then I was just like, this is not making me money, and we're starting Moby. And then I had a regular job that had nothing to do with fashion. It was the worst job ever. But then after that, all my jobs had to do with fashion and clothing. And then right after I had my daughter, I quit it was a corporate job, but it had to do with fashion. It was so awesome. And then we've worked for ourselves pretty much ever since.
So what were those early days of Moby like? Was it pretty instantaneous where you're like, oh, this could be something? Or was there a part where you were grinding and not sure if you could make something of it?
Oh yeah, it was pure passion. I had no clue it would turn into what it did today. I just wanted people to have secondhand clothes, to give people the opportunity to thrift without having to go into the thrift store. And I wanted to be living in the thrift store. And so it was the perfect marriage of I'm providing people with something and I'm doing something that I love so much. And I didn't even think about what it could be, just pure passion and drive.
So were the Princess Diana shirts when things started taking off?
Yeah.
So what's the origin story behind that shirt?
That was probably year 4 that we
Okay.
made the Diana shirt. And Drew had quit his job at that point and we're getting a brick and mortar store.
Was it in Provo?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
And we just knew that selling one of ones was not a money maker. And if we wanted to make money, we needed to make a shirt. And it was hard because it went against everything we believed in. But we were like, let's do a small batch of one shirt. And it was this vintage inspired whale shirt because our logo is a whale for Moby Thrift. And so we ran it at a pop-up shop, super small, locally made shirts, and they all sold out. And we were like, okay, that was testing the waters. People liked the shirt we made. And obviously that's a money maker. You can put it on the website and it's not like you're shooting one item and spending so much time on one item. And then when it sells, it's gone. It's a waste of time. Unfortunately, it's just not a money maker, even though that's what we were so passionate about. We wanted to quit our jobs and we wanted to make this huge. And so we were like, okay, we have to make a shirt in order to do that. And so Drew found this vintage Princess Diana shirt, and ours is kind of like a vintage bootleg, but we made it our own. And our graphic designer was so amazing. His name's Hunter Young, and he just helped the Diana shirt come to life. And we launched that in 2020. Right when we opened our brick and mortar. So that was like, come get the Diana for the first time, and our stores open. Oh, it was so fun. Those were such good days. It was. We were literally masked and gloved and like
swiping,
literally just like wipes everywhere. And we opened a store. It was insanity, but it worked. And then we just started sending the shirt to literally everybody. I was DMing everyone you could think of, celebrities, influencers, just your average Joes, everyone we wanted the shirt to have. And we just sent it with no requirements. We just knew everyone would love it, and they did, and it changed our lives.
So why Diana? Did you love her or?
Yeah, she is just, I love her so much more now after pouring my heart and soul into learning about her. And she's one of the most amazing people to ever live. And she's just like an uncancelable person. And so we wanted someone very timeless who was loved by all ages, all demographics, and who was just a really good person. And there's just no one better than her.
Yeah. Okay, so we did a conspiracy episode and she was one of our subjects.
On her death?
Yes, Kate, I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I did a whole podcast episode on her as well and the conspiracy around her death, and it's not right.
Yeah, so what are your kind of theories?
What's your synopsis of what?
Well, I don't know.
Happened?
Have you seen the letter that she wrote her best friend about Charles did something to my car?
Yeah, she was saying that she was afraid he was going to kill her.
Yes. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. And the fact that all of the cameras in the tunnel stopped working, insane. There's just too many things.
Too many coincidences. But do you feel like it was Charles? Do you feel like the Queen had something to do with it?
I don't know specifically who. It's so hard to say because the royal family in general, like, are so powerful. They can get away with anything. So who's to say if it was one or the other? It was probably a ton of people together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the powers that be. Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Yes.
And like, don't tell me the details. Just we'll take care of it.
Yeah. Because they're very, very powerful.
But what I want to know is the driver. Was he in on it? Did he know he was going to die? You know, like,
because it's like a deposit or something.
Yes.
Like,
and he was working with like MI6 or something.
Yeah.
It's too weird. Like, it's too weird to be
like
normal.
Not an accident, but like all the logistics are hard to know.
But imagine how iconic she would have gotten more and more and more.
100%. She's
famous
so beloved. Yeah.
I was the perfect person you guys could choose. And I'm sure even more special now, but also the tie to where you want your mission. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure it's just so sentimental to you.
I know. I love her so much.
And her style.
Oh, yeah.
Her freaking style.
That
And it's
alone.
coming, I feel like in the last few years, it's even coming back harder. Her style.
Yes, she's such an icon and inspiration for what to wear.
What's your relationship with Moby Thrift right now? Are you still heavily involved?
Yeah, it's always just been me and Drew. Always.
Okay.
And we actually just stopped shipping like last year. And that's why I wanted to start doing personal styling again, because I was doing all the shipping. I was
Out
like,
of your house.
yeah. And
Wow.
I was like, I have nothing to do now. Let me find something else to do. So yeah, I started taking on clients, but the people who make our shirt in Utah, they do our shipping. So everything is very small and local still, but Moby's very hands off. The Diana just sells itself now. And I'll occasionally reach out to people, and we're actually running our very first ad 5 years in.
That's wild.
We've never had to run an ad, and it's definitely slowed down. For 2 years, it was insanity, like
Just cha-ching,
life
cha-ching, cha-ching,
changing,
cha-ching.
so amazing. But nothing like that will last, and we knew that. We totally knew that.
How has business been since then? Are you guys always reaching for the next Diana? Or are you content with that being kind of a peak?
Yeah, we know we can't touch that. Nothing
Yeah.
will ever compare unless we make a shirt that has amazing advertising, but nothing organically will, I don't think, ever happen like that
Yeah.
again. And we totally knew that. And so we're like, let's hurry and buy our dream house. So that
Let's go.
We finally made another shirt last year. We made the Spice Girls shirt. I've loved Spice Girls for my whole life, and so it felt very fitting. And now we're like, maybe we'll do a shirt every Black Friday, because we just don't want to overproduce. We don't want to be cranking out pointless shirts that are just going to sit and then maybe potentially be wasted one day. But we know the Diana shirt will sell, and so we always just keep that in stock. And then right now we're brainstorming, should we maybe do one for Black Friday? And that's just kind of what we do. We do a small batch every Black
Year.
Friday of some sort of fun pop culture shirt, and that's
cool.
just like what's sold on our website. So
Is
we're
there still
brainstorming.
vintage pieces on there as well?
There is on our website, but we don't really do that anymore. Sometimes we'll do a pop-up because our garage is full of vintage, but we just don't really post it on our website. Our business has just kind of changed a little bit. And part of me is so sad about that, because vintage is my passion, but just logistically, it doesn't really make sense right now. But I'm kind of dabbling in Depop again. Like, I used to sell on Depop in the early days, and it's just so easy that I'm like, wait, this is kind of fun to tap back into this. So I've sold a few things on Depop, but logistically things look different now. And that's totally fine, because I still feel like we're very, very mindful about what we do, and we've kept things so small. And that's always been what is really important to me, whether it's vintage or whether it's making a t-shirt. We just want to be super mindful about everything and make sure we're not producing more textile waste.
What kind of lessons have you learned throughout all of your ventures that you've had? Like, you had where you would make the mirrors.
Yes, yeah, Retroflex.
Yeah, so you used to do that, and then doing this. I feel like it's really hard. A lot of people have passions that they want to follow and make that be their living, right? But do you feel like there's things like, oh, maybe the first thing didn't stick, or like throwing stuff against the wall, seeing if it sticks? This didn't work, I'm going to veer this way. What kind of things have you learned, and what advice would you have for someone who's wanting to follow their passion?
I feel like the biggest thing is, like, you always have to be willing to pivot. And if something's not working, you gotta be okay to let go of that thing. Retroflect was the first thing I ever did on my own. Drew wasn't helping me at all. And that was just important for me at the time, to have my own thing instead of doing something with my spouse. And I learned so much from that, and it was so fulfilling. Letting go of it was so hard, because it felt like a failure, but I wasn't letting go of it because it was doing bad. I just had a baby. And again, logistically, it made no sense. I couldn't do it anymore. And so just being able to look at your situation and be like, this is not working for me right now. And it doesn't mean anything bad if I switch things up. It's completely fine if my business changes, if we shift a tiny bit, and us not really selling vintage on our website anymore. It's just what our business looks like right now. And maybe we'll shift back into that one day. But being open to shifting and going with the flow is so vital for a business, and always being willing to learn, because you'll never reach a point where you know everything. Just learning and changing all the time.
I think having that flexibility, I feel like from what I've seen with you, you have like an abundance mindset, it seems like there's not a lot of scarcity in your life where you're like, more will come, more friendships will come, or more opportunities will come. I can stick to my passion. I can stick to my path. And I think that is a huge key to success too. If you're like, oh no, this has to work, it doesn't seem like it works.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. I really try to embrace an
feel like that
abundance
rings true to
mindset.
you?
Yes. 100%. That's my biggest goal in life. I never want to feel scarce in anything that I'm doing. And I always want to know that it will work out and to trust myself and trusting Drew enough to know we can make this work. Whatever happens, we know what we're doing. We're good at making money. We're good at starting businesses. We're good at selling products. We have seen success thus far in our life. Why wouldn't I trust myself to shift? Or why wouldn't I trust myself to try something new? I know exactly what I'm doing. So there's so much trust involved as well in yourself and whoever your business partner is. For me, it's my husband. Lots of trust that it's worked out so far and it can just keep getting better from here.
Is there points that it wasn't working and you felt this is slipping through my fingers?
We had a rough year. It wasn't really our business. It was our life that started affecting our business. And quitting your job that's making you good money to do your business that's not making great money is so scary. It's such a leap of faith. And so just that alone, there's so much adjusting to do there, figuring out how to make enough money to survive when you already were, and then you willingly stopped doing that to do something that you love. And so that gets tricky. But again, there's so much trust involved in that and bravery. I think just starting any sort of business can be rocky. It's never going to go smooth 100% of the time, but that's just where you take those life lessons and you just put them in your pocket and you apply them next time something crazy happens, because it will. It's never going to be perfect.
You kind of have to have that faith that like it'll swing back, because sometimes when times are hard or things are stressful, that's when you want to give up. And sometimes you have to, but then coming back to it is 10 times harder. Any dream, because it's like one failed. How do I start something new? But shifting your mentality, that wasn't a failure. It was just time of life situation. But it's really hard to have that trust in yourself, regaining that trust.
Yeah, especially when you have an audience. It can feel embarrassing sometimes to be like, this just didn't work for me. But everybody knows what is best for them in their life. In their gut, they know what is truly best for them. So just always trusting yourself to make whatever shift that you need to in your life. And if that means letting go of something huge that you've worked on, sometimes that's just how it is. And it sucks. It just does.
So what things do you feel like you're wanting to put your focus at?
Right now I'm doing personal styling again, which has just been so fun to tap back into because, like I said, marketing yourself is so much easier now with Instagram. So many social media platforms to be able to do that on is so awesome. That's what my main focus right now is, personal styling. And then I have my Patreon account, which I pour my heart and soul into. I do 2 podcast episodes a month and then a separate Instagram that's just like the behind the scenes of everything in my life. And I do special things for people on my Patreon that I don't do for on like my regular Instagram. I feel like my regular Instagram is more styling stuff and aesthetically pleasing, gorgeous pictures on my stories. And then my Patreon is deep dives on everything, books I'm reading, movies I'm watching, just random stuff like that. I'll do styling. Right now I'm doing virtual makeovers, not personal styling for just your wardrobe specifically, but I'll pick one person a month and they'll send me a picture and I'll say, okay, this is the haircut you should get. These are the colors that work best for you. This is what style you should go for. And here's an outfit formula for you. So I do fun stuff for my Patreon girls and in-person events. So that's all encompassing. I really pour everything into that.
When did you start doing all of that? You had your baby.
Yes, I had my baby. I was just chilling for a while. I was doing all the shipping for Moby. I was doing all of the social media. I don't really do a ton of social media, but I still do all of the customer service for Moby and for my husband's other business. But yeah, I was just doing shipping and just trying to raise a baby. I kind of gave myself a year to be like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to raise this baby. And then it was probably a year and a half ago that I had some delusion, and I didn't have a big following, but I was like, I think people would pay to follow me. And they did. It was so hard at first because it's like, all right, month 1, there's 10 people here. And then I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing through for like a year. Once a month, I'm going to open it up for people to come join. And I'm just going to stick to it for a year. And this might be so embarrassing and it might not go well, but I just need to not give up on this. And so that's what I worked on for the last year and a half. And it's everything to me. It's so fun.
So can anyone join now? Or is it like you open up certain
I don't do that. And now it's like anyone can join whenever. I just did that for the first year to see how that worked. And it was great. The link's just always in my bio for anyone who wants to join. And then I started taking on clients last November for personal styling.
So we talked about that process a little bit, but walk me through if someone signs up for personal styling, what's that process like?
So I have multiple tiers of what I offer. I can do just a phone call where we chat and I lead you in the right direction and tell you, maybe help you find your 3 words that you're looking for, maybe help you set up your Pinterest board, get you on the right foot. If you're just wanting to kind of do something on your own, I can just help you in your beginning days of your personal style journey. So I have that option. And then I have an option where I do a phone call and just chat and get to know you and your needs. And then I make a digital guide for you that includes information about your body type and what colors look best on you and outfit formulas. And then I do 10 outfits that I put together that include things you already have and then gaps that I feel like are missing in your wardrobe. And then a whole master list of links that I feel like you should have in your closet that feel timeless and exactly what you're looking for, because I think one of the most sustainable things you can do for your wardrobe is rewear things. And so I want to give people a wardrobe that they'll love for a really long time. And then I have the tier where I do a full closet clean out. So I can do it remotely, but I usually, most people in person, choose to do that. And so I do a full closet clean out and I tell you everything you need to get rid of, organize your closet a little bit, and put together outfits from what you already have, and then identify the gaps in your wardrobe, and then also give you the digital guide and the links.
Okay, guys, today's episode is sponsored by Sir Walter Candy. This one is special for me because this is actually my family's company. My husband and his family started this candy company over 25 years ago.
How did that even come to be?
It's such an interesting story. I don't even think I've ever told you about it, but my father-in-law, he's the one who started Sir Walter, but basically his sister was doing a study abroad. They lived in Mexico. She came to the United States, did a study abroad. So they became really good friends with the host family and they would come visit them in Mexico. So my father-in-law would talk to the host dad, Walter, and he was a candy confectioner. So he would tell Alfonso all this stuff. He would give him recipes, and Alfonso started making candy and he just loved it. He actually made candy while he was in school and would sell it, and then he would get in trouble and then he couldn't make it anymore. Anyways, Walter ended up giving him all of these books on the art of making candy and confection and how to scale. And so he used those and really just did little projects on the side with it. Years later, he decided he wanted to start a candy company. And so Walter had passed away, but he wrote a letter to his wife and said, "Hey, I want to start this company and I want to name it after Walter and call it Sir Walter. Would that be okay with you?" And she wrote him back, gave him $1,000 check to start the company, and gave him a watch and said, "Every good businessman needs a watch." So he decided to name it after him, Sir Walter Candy.
That is so precious.
I know. And they just opened a massive storefront in Salt Lake. And you've been.
Yes, I have. I went to the soft opening and it was amazing.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Oh, it's beautiful. You keep describing it as Krispy Kreme on steroids, which I agree with, because it has windows where you can see all of the workers making the candy, but then you also buy candy, and then it's also a dessert shop that has waffles and ice cream and strawberries, and they have frozen hot chocolate and just unique desserts that you can't get anywhere else. And it's all, even the ice cream, they had Rockwell ice cream, but it was like, this has our caramel in it, this has our toffee in it. And it's just so integrated and branded with Sir Walter, which makes it so special. It's almost like an old school diner type vibe where you can go, you can sit down, buy bags of candy or buy in bulk, and then grab a dessert It's so cute.
Yeah, so you can buy like price per pound, or you can just pick up a toffee or a popcorn.
And they have a little wrapping station. It's a perfect one-stop shop for picking up a gift on the way to a girl's dinner, or picking up a gift for a neighbor and getting a treat.
Exactly. I'm just so proud. I'm like, you guys have built this amazing company. I'm so proud of my husband, and I'm so excited for everyone to go get a sweet treat. So it's on 3800 South in Salt Lake City. If you guys want to go, it's called Sir Walter Candy. And if you mention Deepish, you get 20% off your whole order.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you can get whatever you want. Mention the podcast.
Oh, thanks, Sir Walter.
I know. I'm so excited. Thanks again, Sir Walter, for sponsoring this episode.
So how does thrifting fit into all of that? Do you usually advise it's like, okay, you need a good white t-shirt, or you need a good pair of black pants or whatever? Are you saying go thrift them, or are there some staples that you're a little bit more like, this is an exception? You can have
So
this nice pair
I
of pants.
actually don't push thrifting unless my client wants me to, because
Okay.
I do understand that it's not for everybody. I wish it was, but honestly, logistically, it's a big privilege to be able to spend hours in a thrift store. So many people just can't do that. My clients know me, and they know I will always recommend trying to find something secondhand. But if that's not for somebody, I completely understand. But I do have some clients that are like, I want vintage stuff. I actually just had a client who's like, I want you to thrift for me. And so I'm thrifting a new wardrobe for her. And that's so fun. But when it comes to the links that I send, I really just try to find things that have longevity, that they can wear for a really long time, and that will be in style for a long time, because I just usually find regular clothes from a regular store for them, because not a ton of people are interested in that. So if they are, then that's the joy of my life, but a lot of people aren't, and I totally get it.
I know you've talked about your glow up, which you look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I have in my head, like whenever I'm struggling with my weight or my self-confidence, I'm like, oh, if I was just skinny. There's two sides where I'm like, I feel like I could experiment more with fashion, right? Or I'm like, I could just look so much better in just like a great pair of jeans and a plain white t-shirt or something, because your body is your best accessory. Do you feel like since you've lost weight or you've gotten more confident, that that's made fashion more fun for you or more simple for you?
Ooh, that's a good question. I do feel like I have been able to experiment a little bit more, and just feeling more confident in general gives me confidence to wear different things. It's all connected. This confidence that is deep within us, when it shines out, it affects every single aspect of our life. And being able to help women with that is one of the most important things, because we already go through so much.
Yes.
There's just so much women go through, and so many of my clients are new moms, and that's just the hardest thing anyone could ever do. Be pregnant and then give birth and then be postpartum and then raise a child. It's so much. And I've done it. So I know exactly what it's like. Your body's changing. You're not yourself mentally. Your hormones are all over the place. You're losing your hair. Your hair's falling out. And then you get your period back and you're bleeding out once a month.
And then your boobs go like
your
this.
boobs. Oh my gosh. My boobs are gone. It's so devastating. So being able to help in some small way to bring confidence back into women, everyone deserves that. And I can see a shift in my clients, or they'll send me pictures a few weeks later when they've started putting outfits together, and I can see a difference in their face. And I'll tell them, I'll do a comparison of the first pictures they sent me to now. I'm like, look how different you look. It's actually crazy just how much happier and
Confident.
they're glowing. It's so amazing. How you look, really, it does make a difference in your confidence and how you approach the world.
It's so true. I love your perception on fashion, even what you said earlier about it connecting to your inner child, the nostalgia there and who you are as a person and your expression mixed with now future. You said my past self and my future self, and tie it all in together, where you're like, okay, now I'm a mom, but 10-year-old Lucy's still out there and she would love this outfit. It's not just fashion. It is so much more, and it's part
deep.
of womanhood and so much of who you are.
Yeah, it makes me emotional. It's so much more than that. And that's what I think so many women struggle with. They are pushed links all day, every single day, and so many links to Amazon. And Amazon clothing to me is just like, it's just nothing. There's no meaning behind it. And that's what we are shown all day, every day. And what so many women are just like, okay, I guess I need this. There's no thought behind it, and there's no meaning behind it. And everybody deserves to be able to have a wardrobe that means something to them when they open their closet doors and they're like, oh my gosh, I remember where I was when I bought this piece, or oh my gosh, this piece reminds me of this day 5 years ago when I bought it. So many memories and energy is attached to our clothing, and everybody deserves to feel that, because when you put those pieces on and you create an outfit, it makes a huge difference in how you feel, instead of, oh, I guess this is just a shirt and pants, I don't know what else to grab.
Yeah.
I just want people to be able to experience that feeling forever, to be able to know how to pick those clothes out themselves that can give them that feeling.
How do you recommend picking out clothes that will have that longevity while still being trendy or feeling like it's in style? Things change so much. Just the cut of pants, or even with jackets, if the sleeve length changes just a little bit, you look like you're in 2007. It's crazy to me because I'm like, oh, this puffer coat was so cute at one point, but now just the way that the stitching is on it is so out and ugly. I know. But how do you recommend getting stuff that's cute right now but also will be cute in 10 years?
It's so hard because things are changing constantly. This is crazy. So in the 70s and the 60s, when clothing started being really mass produced, there was 2 seasons a year. There was spring, summer, and fall, winter. And that's when new clothes would come out twice a year. So things were built to last. And so things were such better quality because there were only 2 fashion seasons in a year. And now there are 52. So every single week, something new is being produced.
Wow.
That's why you can go into a Forever 21 one week and see something. And then I just remember in high school, I would be like, oh, I want to go back and get that shirt. And you'd go back the next week. Whole store is different. The whole layout is different. Where do you think those clothes go? All those clothes that got unused, they're being dumped in landfills and they're poisoning people's water systems. It's insane. It is so hard because things change so fast. I do think that if you are buying clothes that are a little bit older already, there's a timelessness to them. If you like older item now, you're going to like it forever because there's not a super trendy aspect to it. But I'm building a philosophy on trends right now. It's not complete.
Okay.
I have a note in my phone that I'm just like keep adding to because this has been on my mind so much. Do trends have to die? Where is the balance between wearing something that was trendy at one point, wearing that forever and molding it to your current personal style, or finding things that are just in style for the next 5 to 10 years? It's a really fine line.
Or does it need to be retired for a minute and then bring it back out?
Yeah, and that's an option too, because everything comes back.
And that comes down to when you're helping someone clean out their closet. It's like, this was just in fashion, but this does seem kind of timeless. So maybe don't get rid of it, hang on to it, but maybe don't wear it right. I don't know. It'd be so hard.
It's so hard. There's not one correct answer for this either.
Because there's a lot of pieces I think back to, or I'll see pictures and I'm like, I wish I would have kept that shirt.
I know. Yeah, totally. So there's no right answer. At least I haven't landed on one yet. If there is, I'll let you guys know when I complete my philosophy on
so
trends.
what conclusions have you come to with the philosophy?
So just a few conclusions that I've come to are, when you're shopping, look for items that you would have worn 5 years ago and that you could see yourself wearing in 5 years, or even a year ago or a year in the future. And that sounds kind of hard to tell, but once you know your personal style, it's a little bit easier to know, I would definitely wear this 5 years in the future. I see the timelessness to it. And if not, I can adjust. I just did a video styling a J. Crew bubble necklace because you guys remember how huge those were. And I was like, this necklace is stunning. This is so gorgeous. What would happen if I had just been wearing it for the last 10 years? Would I look insane, or would it not be that crazy because my style has adjusted with it?
You're accessorizing it different.
How you style
it.
Yeah,
how you're styling it is so different. So looking for things that you would have worn 5 years ago and can see yourself wearing 5 years in the future. And then there is a trendy aspect that is important to people because at our core, we do want to fit in. We do sometimes we see something that is being pushed to us and we're like, I actually think that's really, really cute. And so I think if you are buying something that feels super trendy as you're styling it, don't pair it with something else that is also super trendy. Have the one trendy piece be the piece of the outfit, and then everything else a little bit timeless and toned down. I feel like that way you're able to have more life in it and wear it a little bit longer, instead of in a year wearing something that was so trendy, 2 things together, like shoes, pants, and shirt that were so trendy a year ago. You have the jellies on or something. with a regular outfit and it doesn't look that crazy. Does that make sense? And then another thing is when you're about to buy a new item, it should be like you're about to get a tattoo and you wait on it for a while. You wait for a month to see if you actually want to buy it. And if in a month, even if in 2 months, like the longer you wait, the better. If you still want that thing in 6 months, buy it for sure.
But that's so hard.
It's like, so hard.
Because I do that with a big piece, like a purse or some really nice boots I want. Like I can wait on that, but a shirt, it's so accessible and it's $15. Like I'm gonna get it.
Especially when you're thrifting, you can't wait on it. You
Oh
know?
yeah.
That's
If I'm
probably a
thrifting,
totally different story.
I don't worry about it too much when I'm thrifting. But yeah, if there's something that everyone is wearing and you feel this pressure, okay, I want to buy. I always say leopard barrel jeans. That's just what always comes to mind, just because they're really, really trendy. And there was like the Free People version, and now there's the Amazon version. There's the duplication of everything.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of timelessness in that, but could there be if you style it correctly throughout the year? So I don't know. I just think, okay, everyone has leopard barrel jeans. I really want them, but do I actually want them? Or do I just want them because everybody else has them and I'm being pushed leopard barrel jeans every single day when I get on my Instagram stories? I'm going to sit on it for a little bit. Those are the kinds of things that you can sit on and wait. Because there are some things that you're like, okay, it's winter and my jacket ripped and I need a new coat. I'm not going to wait 6 months for a new coat.
That's a series I want you to continue. Find the bubble necklaces of the world and see if you can bring them back. Or
that's
keep them
what
timeless.
that's a plan for my content. Like, can I style this super dated thing that screams 2016?
Yeah.
Can I make this
cargo
work?
jacket and these combat boots?
Yes,
like,
because I think you can. I think you can adjust it with your personal
and
style.
what a fun and creative process for you too. It'll see like
So
how
fun.
can I integrate this into what I think
So
is
I'm
cute.
learning so much.
And it's like, okay, now I can go to the back of my closet. Lucy's doing it and made it cute and cool. Then I can do it because it's hard because you don't know how to repurpose those things. But I want to talk more about sustainability. I want to hear your thoughts on the fast fashion, the Amazon girlies of the world that are blowing up all over the place. And it's like they're getting their bag and they're making their money. And I get that. But also the pressure that puts on everyone and everything. I want to hear all your thoughts on that.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard because I love a woman getting their bag. I love influencers. I love that women can have this career now that can make them so much money, like women making more than doctors or something. Women can make money and they can do it while staying home with their kids. I just think that aspect is so amazing. But at what cost? The constant Amazon links that are being pushed, it makes me sick. I'm actually doing no Amazon August with my Patreon girls. And so we're not buying anything from Amazon in August. And I buy some cleaning stuff from Amazon, random stuff from my house from Amazon.
It's like your
supplements from Amazon. Even my workout clothes, sometimes I buy from Amazon. And so I'm not 100% perfect, but there is definitely a line. And I just don't think a lot of people know the effects. And I'm just targeting Amazon right now. It's all big fashion brands. Fast fashion is one of the biggest polluters globally, right next to oil. It's so crazy how much waste and how bad this is. And not even just the waste of textiles and that it is poisoning people's water. It's the working conditions. And so on one hand, we have these women who can stay at home and make so much money pushing these things just from doing links. And then we have women who are working in factories making these clothing items for us who are in such poor working conditions that it kills them. There are factories that have collapsed and killed hundreds of people because of the poor working conditions. People are sick, children are working. It's insane the quality of life these people have. In this study that I read from 2023, I think, this company called Redo, they are so amazing. If you ever want to learn about fast fashion or anything, how to be better, Redo is so awesome. Just following their Instagram is so great. But they do an audit every year of every big fast fashion brand and they grade them on certain aspects. And 0% of fast fashion brands paid women a livable wage. 0%. Like, not one company is paying their workers a livable wage. And so even if they had decent working conditions, they're not even being paid enough to live. There's so much to think about that I truly just don't think people even know about. And that's why I just want to keep sharing this message with the world, to just let people know.
Your spending and buying habits do come
At a
cost.
cost.
Well, and I think it's so important for you too, because all of these people with influence are pushing overconsumption because they're unpacking all these PR boxes and showing how much fun it is to have all of these products and selling the products, which is great. But then it's like, oh, I need that and I need this. And it's pushing. I should be getting 5 Amazon packages a day because that's a happy life. And it's modeling that lifestyle versus someone who does have an influence, who's bringing awareness to the opposite side of what this is doing.
Yeah, thank you. And as my platform grows, like I said, it's an amazing way as a stay-at-home mom to be able to make money. Instagram has given us this incredible opportunity, and TikTok, to make money and provide for our families. But I am so aware of what I'm receiving and brands that I want to work with. I'm just barely dipping my toes into doing anything with any sort of brand, but
reach out to you. And
I have definitely declined so many things because I'm like, I don't need this at all. It's not worth getting the free item. And even a paid brand deal for a clothing brand, I'm like, I know what you guys actually do, and I cannot promote this. I can't at all. And I do share links too. Very rarely I share a link, but if I do, I really try to check the fabric content, because that's huge. To check the little side tag in your sweater, if it says 100% polyester, that thing is going to poison us. If that gets burned, which often it does, it gets sent to a landfill and it gets burned, that's what's releasing harmful chemicals into our atmosphere. And so I really try to check the fabric content. And then also, if it's 100% polyester or whatever, it's not going to last. If you have a cardigan from Target, that thing's pilling the very first wash. And so then you have to go buy a new one. And what are you going to do with this one? Donate it? No one's going to buy it at the thrift store. Okay, well, they're going to send it to a third world country and it's going to just sit there or get burned. And so even just being aware of fabric content is huge. If you're not thrifting, buying a sweater that's 100% cotton, that's going to last you a long time. 100% wool, that's going to last you a long time. And
polyester, bad.
Polyester is plastic. Yeah. Nylon, bad. The things to look for are the natural fibers. So linen, cotton, and wool, silk, the big four. Those are things to look for. They're going to be more expensive, but you're going to want to wear them more and take better care of them because you spent more money on them. And there is a timelessness to them when they have natural fibers in them. And then this all goes back to my mom's farm. How much time it takes, how much effort it takes to make something that has natural fiber in it. You just want to cherish that item so much because a lot of hard work went into that.
What are some of the places shopping wise that you're just really against? Can you shed some light on the Sheins of the world?
Oh, well, Shein is the worst. It's the absolute worst. It's the number one worst of
Have you seen
everything.
that SNL?
Oh, wait, yes.
It's a spoof on Temu. And it was like, oh, it's Shimu. And then it's like a note in the pocket. Like, look at this cool thing.
It's like, help me. Yeah. I've seen that.
No.
But it's
Don't
so
listen.
true.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shein is number one worst offender for sure. And I get the draw. It's so cheap. You can do a humongous haul and it's like $200 or something for like 500 items. But there's a cost. There's actually really a good documentary called The True Cost, if anyone wants to watch that. It's about fast fashion. But yeah. Shein, Amazon, yikes. And then just the huge contenders, H&M, Zara, Forever 21. If I'm shopping somewhere, I will lean towards Gap and they're not great, but they tend to have better fabric content. I can always find 100% cotton sweater there, jeans 100% cotton.
So the links you're sending, where are some of your go-to places?
I love Gap. I just think they're also really timeless. Old Navy can be timeless and I can find good fabric content. And again, it's hard to be 100% perfect. I might send a sweater that has 80% cotton, 20% polyester or something. Even that 80% cotton will give you so much more life than 100% polyester sweater. A small amount of natural fiber makes a huge difference. But I'll send from the big chains, but I really try to make sure it's an item that is true to their personal style that they will actually wear. Because the biggest issue is that people will buy something that they think they'll like and then they never wear it because it wasn't actually true to them. And so then they get rid of it, and that creates so much waste. But if you are going to buy something from the mall or from Zara or whatever, try your best to make sure that this reflects your true personal style and that you can get life out of it. That alone is really, really helpful.
What are your thoughts on designer?
I don't really care about it at all. I understand that it holds its value. And if I found a vintage designer thing, like if I was even on eBay or if I was thrifting, score, that would be so amazing because I know the quality is probably a little bit better, but
the names you don't really care about.
No, not at all. I totally get this can often just be a reflection of I made a big chunk of money and here's the outward expression of this amount of money that I made, which well deserved. If you make a big chunk of money and you want a nice bag, you should be able to show that to the world. I personally, I don't ever think twice about the brand.
Did you find that as not a conflict of interest, but a unique thing being in fashion school where you're like, I don't really subscribe to... I feel like a lot of people who go into fashion really look up to those and are into all of the designer, like the Devil Wears Prada type thing, right? Yeah. Where you're almost in that world, but it's such a different side of it.
Yeah, I feel like in the early days, it was like big brands for sure. I was like, this is so cool because it feels like the Devil Wears Prada.
And there used to be a lot more designer jeans. I don't feel like designer stuff is as important unless it is. I guess a lot of girls are into bags and stuff.
And I think we're not seeing those things be pushed because they're not cheap, and so they know a lot of people aren't gonna buy them.
Yeah, that's true.
And so those things are still, I think the quality is there, and I think it's a good option, but their practices aren't always much better than
more ethical than these bigger chains.
So if it's secondhand, it's amazing, but personally I wouldn't save up for like a new Louis Vuitton something, just personally. But yeah.
Have you done research, have seen the last 5 years with the fast fashion industry? Has it gotten a lot worse with all of these links?
Yeah, it does get worse, but the secondhand market is also getting better.
Okay.
And so there is a little bit of hope, but we're running out of resources. We really are. We don't have much time left for our planet.
Get on your knees.
If things keep going as bad as they are. But to see the secondhand market, their percentages go up every year, that's huge. But as individuals, there's only so much that we can do because big corporations, they're the ones in charge. They're the ones that can make the huge changes to affect the workers and our environment. But as consumers, being mindful actually does really make a big difference, because if we're buying less from, let's say, H&M, if everybody's buying less, if everyone is buying more secondhand, they won't buy as much the next time they're buying a big round of whatever, because their numbers are going down. That's usually how it works. I would hope that they wouldn't overbuy to just waste, but just behind the scenes, that's usually how it works.
I'm so glad that you brought that up, because as you were talking, I was thinking that it feels almost like politics and world hunger and things like that. Where you're like, what can little old me do to help this? But it is important to remember, like, okay, your vote does matter. Your choices do matter, and what you're buying and purchasing secondhand. What about the pre-loved or indie clover, like those type of things? Do you ever dabble in that, or do you feel like the thrift stores, are those more just like Nike or H&M but secondhand? I guess that's still a little bit better.
Oh yeah, I think Pre-Loved and Indie Clover and Uptown Cheapskate and Plato's Closet, those are great options. Those are still all secondhand. And so they're just as good as going to DI or something. But sometimes it's your friend's closet, and so then your friend makes money off of it. So you got to support all of these women that are selling their clothes. Feels a little bit more personal even.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I think that those are great options. I haven't really found my personal style there. I do feel like it's kind of boutique-y, but I think so many people find good stuff there.
Do you go through your closet a lot? And when you do go through your closet, what do you usually do with your clothes?
So my order of operations, I go through my closet maybe twice a year. I really rewear. I have stuff in my closet from 10 years ago. I rewear as much as I can. And I buy maybe not a lot. If I'm at the thrift store, I'm usually buying something for my house or my daughter, because I thrift all of her clothes too. But yeah, maybe twice a year. And the first thing I do is I try to sell, usually on my Instagram story or like Depop or Facebook Marketplace, because I know it's like someone who actually really wants that piece is getting it. And so then I sell, and then anything left over, I'll either do a free bag on Facebook Marketplace, and that's like so helpful. So many moms in need, they just need clothes. And I did a big clothing swap with my Patreon girls, and I had a bunch of stuff left over. And these families, they needed free clothes. And I wasn't going to sell those clothes that I already got for free. So I just put them on Marketplaces free. And so many families in need were able to get those clothes for free. Marketplace is just a good way to get the word out there and reach a big audience of people. Or sometimes I'll post on my Instagram, does anyone in need this thing for free? And then if there's anything left over, I'll usually just donate. DI or Savers.
Yeah, you're giving me so many little good nuggets.
Good.
What's your home design like? How does your fashion choices transcend into your interior design?
Oh my gosh, my house is so opposite of how I dress. When we bought our house last year, the vibe was like 2000s Pottery Barn, like Rooster Kitchen vibes.
Love.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a lot of brown and like wrought iron in my house and lots of suns, like it's very 2000s, like early 2000s. If you looked at a early 2000s Pottery Barn catalog, that's my dream right there.
See, but that feels so at home.
It's
like
cozy. It's so nostalgic and so cozy. And I feel like that's how my house was growing up. And all my mom's girlfriends who I looked up to when I was little, they were shopping at Pier 1. And if I can find something from Pier 1, oh my gosh, it's the best thing ever.
So that probably works great with thrifting.
Oh, it
Like,
is.
You can find paintings of fruit.
Everything
and
in my
all the
house
things
is
that you want.
thrifted as well, except for like our couch. That gets spooky. That gets into bed bug territory.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just super mindful, but almost everything in my house is bought secondhand as well, except for the big guys, even my mattress.
Really?
Yeah, but it was new. Someone had just bought a purple mattress
Yeah.
and it was the wrong size or something. So
Okay.
You're like,
nice.
thank you.
yeah, thank you.
Love that. So you've mentioned a lot about your Patreon and your community. How I have seen you throughout the years on social media is like the cool big sister. I feel like you have this
Thank
persona
you.
of like just so friendly, so kind. How do you feel like you've been able to build such an amazing community of people who are similar to you? I feel like it's so hard to build a community that you're super proud of and that you're close to. How have you been able to facilitate that?
I want everyone to know that they're important, and I'm just one of them. I know they pay to follow me, which gets a little bit tricky sometimes. It's like this kind of weird parasocial thing, but I never wanted people to feel that way. Oh, you're paying to follow me, so I'm better than you in some way. Like, we're friends. I want to meet you in person. I want to serve you. I want you to feel so important and feel like you're part of this community, not like I'm this leader of this cult almost, but I want everyone to feel so equal and loved. And that's why I love doing in-person things, just to be able to meet them and for them to make friends with each other. And once a month, I'll highlight somebody from the group, and it's like first day of school vibes. I'll talk about their favorite movies and facts
Star of
about
the
them.
week.
And yes,
Yeah.
Star of the Week.
I love that.
And I will post pictures of them, and then all of my girls can go and follow them. So I'm just always trying to find ways where we can all connect on the same level and never feel like I'm anything but their friend, like one of them. And they're just the best. I love that group so much.
I love that. I feel like that's something that everybody wants to be a part of. And
Yeah.
that probably just speaks to who you are as a person, of the type of community that you can create, because
Thanks.
the people that you have that are there and becoming friends and are together, they're all like-minded people.
We're all besties.
So with so many influencers and with so much on the internet, how do you feel like you've been able to stay authentic to yourself throughout having a presence on social media?
I'm definitely the pressure when you can see how much you can make from a link. The pressure is there for sure. I could post a link every single day. I would make so much money. That would be so amazing. But it's just constantly reminding myself of my core values and what is important to me. And when we started Moby, I think that as a business, you have your core values and you always try to stick to those. And those things were being inclusive of everybody and showcasing all types of people and keeping mindfulness of our consumption at the forefront of what we are doing. I think even having a business model with values has helped me so much in my personal life, because I am kind of my own business. And so giving myself those business values almost as a constant reminder to lean back on, this is what is important to me. And if I stay true to these, people will see that. People will see that if I am recommending something, if I'm posting a link, if I'm working with a brand, or if I have received a gifted something, they know I truly love it and I've used it and I'm being 100% honest about it because I constantly strive to stick to my values. So I just think it's important, as anyone with a social media presence, we are our own business.
Do you feel like that's unique? Like your outlook, it doesn't seem very authentic social media right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like everyone's just trying
Lots
to like,
of stuff being pushed.
yeah. Do you see that, or do you feel like people are trying to be more mindful and authentic?
Sometimes I'm like, how is this not happening more? How are people still pushing so much inauthentic stuff? Like, they've got to know that people can, one, see through it, and two, know it's bad for the environment. But I think it's such a moneymaker that it doesn't really matter. But I'm not them. That's totally just like,
you get influenced. Are you ever just scrolling and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just so much stuff and consumption, not even just clothes, but just everything?
I think I've worked so hard to be so mindful. If I see a skincare thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's magic, I need that right now, I'll look at it, I'll put it in my cart, I'll come back even the next day, or I will often forget about it. And if I have forgotten about it, I didn't need it at all. And so I am very rarely quick to instantly buy a link that I click on. And that has just taken so much practice, because that's what our brains are wired to do. The dopamine hit of clicking the link and buying it, that's what our phones are making us do.
And just, it's so easy, just the double tap.
It's so easy. The Apple Pay, it's so easy. But even if I'm on Depop and I'm shopping for things secondhand, I will put it in my cart and come back the next week to make sure that I really wanted it.
I have been feeling in my personal life so overstimulated, not just with stuff, but just motherhood and life, and everything's so overstimulating. And I'm realizing I go into my home, it's too much. There's too much stuff everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I have this call to get rid of and purge. Mm-hmm. And I think it all comes back to being mindful of what I'm bringing into my space. That's something I'm really craving, is mindfulness, because there's so much clutter.
You know what actually has really helped with that is a Pinterest board to see what you want your future self to look like. And then when it comes to your purchases and your activities and things that you're bringing into your home, are those things reflecting what this future version of myself looks like? Did I really need this kitchen gadget from Amazon? I love Pinterest. I have all my clients use it because I'm so visual, and I think so many of us are as well. Being able to just look and see what you want your current life and your future self to look like.
So what does that mean? Like style, house, like
everything, literally anything that catches your eye. Nail art, cups and plates, forks, jewelry, your yard, socks, the tiniest little details. That's what you're looking for, is the tiny details.
But do you feel like that's producing this mentality of I don't have enough, or I need that?
I think it definitely could. You just have to look at it differently.
It's
you have
more
to
like
think
a vision board, right?
Yes,
like
it's like, this is who I want to become. And if it looks identical to your life right now, then it's amazing. You want your life to be your dream life. But I think you kind of have to know, this is what I want my life to eventually look like and feel like. It's not so much about aesthetics, because what does that mean if you're just looking at something? How you want your life to feel. And you just have to go into it knowing this is a process. Every time I go into a Savers, I'm looking for something that reflects this version of me that I can bring into my home that feels so intentional. And when I place it there, it's another piece of the puzzle to create this dream version of me. You have to look at it in a mindful way, because it totally could go in the direction of like, okay, well, I have to buy this to become this version of myself. Because then again, what does that mean if you're just checking off a list?
I want to do this vision board idea, but also look within and repurpose the things that I do have.
Yes. Oh, I mean, that's your very first step in sustainability, is just reusing what you do have already. So,
okay, I had a question about closet. You open your closet, you're going through your closet every 6 months. Is there pieces that you should be getting rid of? How would you start? Looking at tags. Oh, this is not good quality. I'm going to get rid of this first. What are some tangible tips of closet haul?
I actually just I posted a reel a few months ago of me going through my closet, and I give a few little tips. But for me personally, if I haven't reached for it in 6 months, then I put it in a pile to try on, because sometimes I just didn't like the outfit I wore last time with it. And so then I have this negative connotation in my mind of that piece because I didn't like my outfit last time. And so then I stopped reaching for it. And so it's like, okay, that will go into a pile to try on. But if I know for sure this did not fit me right at all, it can't get tailored because of the material or something, I'm going to try to sell this and then donate it if I need to. But so often we just need to try things on and workshop some new outfits with what we currently have that you haven't reached for. So I always go for the things that I haven't touched in a really long time and start to think about, why haven't I touched this in a long time? Does it actually just not fit me anymore? Will it ever fit me? Is there a way to make this work? Do I just need to think of a new outfit for it? And then you get to play dress up in your closet and put all these new fun outfits together. And it's like, wait, I love this piece again. This is so fun. I'm going to wear this tomorrow. So
It's kind of like Marie Kondo a little bit.
Oh yeah. Like the feeling of sparking joy is so real. Like, how does this piece make me feel? Do I feel like it aligns with this version of myself that I want to be in my true core personal style? If not, then your soul will know.
Do you recommend getting rid of a lot? Or are you like, oh, you're just too overstimulated, you have too much stuff?
Definitely for some people. I feel like if you're prone to overconsumption and you're clicking a ton of Amazon links, there's not going to be a lot of passion there inside of your closet. It's just kind of these mindless clicks that everybody does. Again, that's how our brains are wired to work with our phones. But I do think it can be worth doing one big clean out if it really, really has to go. Like you can't wear this again. Because I talked about, like, do trends really have to die? I do think sometimes it's
they're
like
dead,
this,
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, this like might just not work. But if from that point on you can be a little bit more mindful, then it is super helpful to be able to build out your dream closet so that you don't have to do that huge clean out constantly. You do like one big clean out, and from that point on you have a mindset shift. And you're not going to be perfect if you're like in the beginning stages of doing this. It's going to be hard. This takes so much practice to build your dream closet, and you're going to be imperfect and you're going to buy a few Amazon links here and there, but it's just about learning as you go and finding what sticks, like you said.
Do you feel like there's a good way, when I think about cleaning out my closet, especially when I'm like putting myself in your mind of like, okay, what necklines look good on me? What's my body type? What's a good way to learn that stuff about your color profile, or what styles look good on your body type? How do you even learn that stuff if you're not familiar with it?
So if you know your body type, there's a really good website called The Concept Wardrobe. It's just a website that has everything about your body type and everything about like your color season. I don't buy a ton into like the color seasons because I feel like it can start to feel a little too much like rules to follow instead of like a suggestion. And getting dressed should be so fun and not feel like you have all these rules to follow. So if you get a color analysis or something and you're looking way too into it and getting dressed doesn't feel fun, you're like, oh, this is the wrong shade of blue or something. I just don't think it matters that much. So many people can look good in so many things, but if you need to be headed in a certain direction, it can definitely help kind of steer you like, okay, these colors look good on me. So yeah, the Concept Wardrobe. And in my guides, I add like, because they have all these drawings of body types and like what lines should hit you where. So that's a good place to start, but you really won't know until you're trying things on. So I say like even go into like a Target or go to the mall or something and just try stuff on. You don't have to buy stuff, but just try on different things that maybe you have never tried on before just to see what they look like on your body type. And then you know your size. Just keep a note in your phone like, okay, I'm a inverted triangle. This is my size in pants. Like I tried these on at Target. I tried these on at Gap. This size fits me best. Take all your measurements, keep that in a note in your phone. And these colors are what look best. Like maybe add some pictures into the note on your phone, but just something to, because I forget these things so fast. So it's so important for me to have something to always look back on, that I'm just not like, what was my pant measurement again? I have no idea. So writing all those things down, and just like, you really don't know until you are physically trying things on your body. So,
but what if you don't know? You're like, I think it looks fine. Is it really just inside of you? Like, do I feel confident?
Oh yeah, you'll know. If you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I would never, ever have put this on. I did this with one of my clients. We just went to Target and tried stuff on, and I got her this leopard satin midi skirt. She would have never ever tried on anything like that. And I was like, she was like, are you sure? Like she was hesitant. I was like, just try it. Like what's the harm in trying it on? And she ended up buying it because she came out of the dressing room and I was like, you're different. You're different. This is crazy. And she felt it too. Like you just know. So you do have to be intuitive. You have to listen to what your heart is telling you. But you know, if you put on a fire outfit and you're like, okay, absolutely.
Well, and even just comparing them, like getting different lengths of shirts or
That's
different
the thing. Yeah.
types of
Noting.
jeans,
Yeah.
and then being like, okay, in comparison to the last one, I'm going to take a picture of this and a picture of that, which looks better on me.
Yeah,
if
for
you
sure.
Don't know.
And then like you, again, do not have to buy anything, especially if you do want to get more into thrifting. This is just such a good way to know what cuts look good on your body type, what colors look good on you that complement you. And yeah, just trying stuff on is for sure the best way.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like I'm glad we have this recorded because I'm like, I need to write all this down.
What I was wanting at the beginning of this was to have that spark of joy of closet exciting. It's not just about what you're putting on your body, but it can be a representation of what you're wanting to feel.
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I feel so disgusting. I'm just going to wear sweats. Like, I don't want to get ready. But then I end up getting ready or putting a cute outfit. And then I start feeling better about myself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like,
it makes such a huge difference. Even for my clients, because so many of my clients work from home and they're just like on their computer. And, you know, sometimes you have to just have your grubby clothes on at home. You're just like cleaning the house. You're not going to put on a nice outfit for that. There's a time and place for your grubby clothes. But so many people, I'm like, do you want to have an elevated work from home look just to feel a little bit different? Because it makes such a huge
even a cute pair of sweats.
Oh, yeah.
And like a cute cropped sweatshirt.
Or throw on some gold earrings. Like, day changed.
Yeah.
Makes a huge
It's almost
difference.
like you're like, okay, I'm going to dress externally how I want to feel internally
Yes,
today.
that's what I'm trying to
Yes.
Yeah, like matching that where my mental health plummeted today. So I want to just not get ready, wear sweats. I feel like crap. But then it's like, okay, actually you get ready and then you're more confident when you go to pick up with your kids or whatever. And then
it
your
affects
mental health
everything.
Just
it affects your mood so much. My great grandma, she would be so sick just in the trenches and she would just like still do full face of makeup, pearls on.
Literally,
and
my grandma.
like it makes such a huge difference.
She gets full on ready to lay in bed and watch television.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
And
That's
I'm like,
iconic.
that
But I'm
vibe.
sure she has a better time.
That's
No,
true.
you know? She has her
Feel
whole
better.
routine and she's like, it really is good for my mental health.
Yeah, I love that. It's true.
I love this because we talked a lot about our intention going into this episode and what we wanted to get out of it. And I'm like, yes, I want people to be inspired by their closet and fashion and things. But I think I'm just mainly so inspired right now because I feel like you are so unique in the fact that you've been able to stay authentically true to yourself, even comparing to other influencers on that topic of conversation. You're the abundant mentality, but also down to play the slow game of, I'm going to stay true to myself. These Amazon linkers might be buzzing past me with their income or growth on social media. But if I recommend something, it's because I truly back it up. And I'm going to turn down these things because, like you said, your core values, which I think in this world of opportunity and people reaching for so many things is so refreshing to see. And a good message to people and to myself of like, okay, ground yourself. Who are you as a person? What do you want to put out into this world? And stop like, oh, scarcity mindset, reaching for so many different things.
Yeah.
It's just so inspiring.
Thank you so much. Playing the long game is something I do in every aspect of my life. Even with thrifting, I have these thrift manifestations and dream items. And I will wait years for them to come and they will just fall into my lap when the time is right. And if, again, I still want that thing years later and it fell into my lap, it was meant to be mine. And it just took us a while to find each other. But so many things that I have had this perfect vision of in my mind that I could find Zara or I could find, I don't know, home stuff too, really, really anything. But I just knew I'm waiting this one out and it's always been so worth it because it has always been the exact thing that I was dreaming of because I've turned down the versions that I knew weren't exactly it and found like
The one. It's such a weird through line though. It's not just thrifting, it's a life
lesson. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like you said, staying true to your values, even though selling out for me, for my core values could have gotten me more money or more followers or something. It's just being patient and playing the long game will always be more worth it in every single aspect and bring the integrity into whatever you're doing.
Is it ever hard? Are you ever tempted to just post it?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Not really with links like that, but with buying something new. Like, we've needed a dresser for over a year. We haven't had a dresser since we've moved into the house, and our pants have just been all over the floor. And there have been so many times we're like, do we just go to IKEA? We've been to IKEA looking at dressers. And I'm like, no, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. We've been to Ashley Furniture. I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. So many furniture stores. And I'm like, I can't do it. I know it's out there. And I just had the craziest experience with my dresser. I found the exact dresser I needed from Pottery Barn, by the way, in the exact color, exact distressing, exact length. I needed it a very specific length, exact length that I needed. And it was one of my best friend's moms who passed away a few years ago. And so now that piece gets to be in my home. And it was the most special thing ever because I kept being like, I know it's coming. I know it's coming. So every time I do that and I find the thing that I needed, it just instills this confidence in me.
It's
I
like
can
a
find
spiritual
anything.
experience,
Yes.
honestly.
And it's so worth it. Talk about a dopamine hit. Every time I look at that dresser, I'm like,
Yeah.
I knew.
oh my gosh. And so it's like a game. Like, what can I find next?
Were you always this way? Or did you feel like this is something you learned?
Yeah, I feel like I've tapped into that. As I've learned about manifesting in the last few years, I feel like that is kind of indicator of this era of my life. Which
Can we
I
tap
love
on
so
manifesting for 1 second? Me and Sammy talk about manifesting all the time. Is it real?
Much. Oh, yes. I think no matter how you look at it, no matter where you are in your spirituality, you could say it was an answer to a prayer. You could say it was from the universe. You could say it was you. I think that no matter what, you can make things happen for you.
But this version of manifesting, I feel like you live your life with so much intention. Manifestation starts with the intention, right? Like, this is my intention going into this. But it's not like you have a freaking Range Rover picture on your wall and you're like, someday I'm going to get there. I'm going to grind. I'm going to like make all of this money. But it's just like, what's meant for me will find me. And if I'm patient and wait, it goes back to the abundance thing where you're like, I'm not stressed about finding a dresser because I know the right one's going to come.
Yes,
and I'm
exactly.
not like going to rush anything, and I'm not going to cheapen the life experience by like pushing anything that doesn't feel right to me in this moment.
True.
Which I think if I started living my life that way, that manifesting would eventually come because I wouldn't be stressed about things not happening. It would just be like, things come, things go.
Yeah.
And what's meant to be will be.
100%. I could literally have not said that better myself. That's like rings so true to me.
It's just hard to sometimes have that mentality when you are struggling.
Oh,
Say
yeah.
you're like, don't have money, or you don't have this, or you don't. It's like hard to be like, it'll come, when it's like, no, but I need.
And here's the thing about that, because I've definitely experienced that in my life. Like, it's such a privilege to be able to sit back and be like, things will happen for me. Because also there are times in your life where you're like, this needs to happen for me. I'm going to make it happen, and it's going to take work. Like, manifesting often takes like lots and lots of work, and not just like you get the thing that you're needing, whether it's money or whatever, by your hard work. Like, I think of those like first few years of Moby when we were just like grinding so hard, and there were 2 years where life felt so hard. I was so depressed. It was one of the worst times of my life for years. It felt so long, and like it just required so much work to get to where we were now. It didn't happen by just like, whatever happens. Sometimes that's the phase of life that you're in, and sometimes the phase of life that you're in is, I have to work my ass off to get this thing. And everyone's a different manifester. Things happen differently for everybody. I don't know that much about human design, but I know I'm a non-specific manifester, and that just rings true to me.
What do you mean? Explain that more.
So my best friend Ash, she knows everything about human design. She's a genius, and so I get a lot of my information from her. But I guess for a non-specific manifester, it's like things can just fall into my lap. Like, I don't have to do anything super specific to find exactly what I'm looking for. But sometimes for people, there's methods where you can write things down like multiple times a day, or there's like a ritual you can do or something that can help you manifest things better. So I don't know a ton about it, but it has rang true to me, and I just have kind of leaned into that. Does that
mean that you're a little bit more flexible with the result? When you say non-specific, like the dresser, for example, is that obviously was probably better than you could have even imagine, because I'm just looking for this look or whatever.
Yes.
But do you feel like the things that you're manifesting, you're a little bit more flexible on how they come to you or what they are?
I would say how they come to me. Sure. I don't care. Even if I found the one on Marketplace for $500 and it was perfect, I would be like, I don't really care how it came to me. This just, how it happened to be crazy how it came to me. But I would say I'm very picky on the result, which is why I get exactly what I want.
Okay.
Because you're like pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. I never want people to think time to just sit back and see what happens. So much of becoming this version of yourself can take so much work.
But maybe too, I think I'm in this stage of life where I'm trying to grind for my dreams. Like
Yes.
I'm out here grinding. But sometimes your dream becomes a little hazy. Your end goal, it's like, what am I reaching for? Because overall, like more money, more community, that's my intention going in. But for me, at least, it's like, that's so far away. All I can see is the grind.
Maybe within the grind, finding something specific to be working towards, because this kind of vague thing to work towards, it can get so hazy and you can lose yourself in it. But on the way there, it's like, I want to do this specific thing. And then once you've reached that point, you've learned so much that you're like, okay, what's next? I've acquired all of these skills getting to this point. What can I do next to bring me to this point of like more money or whatever, like the big thing is that you're looking for. Again, I'm no expert.
Yes, you are.
Like the little wins along the way.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and I think celebrating. Because are you ever like, when you get the dresser or you get the jacket or you get the boots, are you a celebrator?
I feel like everything that comes to me has like a soul, like a spirit. And so often with my house, I'm so grateful for my house and we worked so hard for it. I'll like hug. There's like a beam outside and I'll just hug my house. Or if I'm like needing to ground, I'll like put my hands on the wall of my house and like feel the soul of my home. So it's like when that special dresser came into my life, it's like, I just want to put my hands on it and just
give it thanks.
Feel it. And yes, like so much gratitude for making its way to me. And even with clothing items, like somebody lived a life and wore this leather jacket. That's another thing that I was obsessed with finding. And somebody lived an incredible life, and maybe they had children and they have a posterity and they built a life and they died, and that jacket made its way to me, and their special spirit stays within that clothing item. And some people like are scared of things being haunted. I've been haunted by something before. And so I think people can look at that and think, can evil be attached to it? And maybe, but I choose to see it as just like, I'm so grateful. Like you did not end up in a landfill and you made your way to me, and I will give you the best life possible.
You're so cute.
I love that. Do you find you're a very sentimental person?
Yes.
Like all of the things I'm sure like that your daughter has had, and like you just have boxes full of things.
Everything has meaning to me. Every single thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's your love language?
I think words of affirmation. Yeah, I think so. But I resonate with all of them. It's so hard to pick
I'm like
one.
D all of the above.
I know,
every single one.
Give me everything. Yeah.
Lucy, thank you so much for coming on. We are
you
so
guys.
happy that you came
I
and
could
like
keep chatting with you forever.
We literally could talk to you for so long. And I'm like I've said, I'm feeling so good about this episode and just to go live my life, be true to myself, and enhance my wardrobe too.
I'm so glad, yeah, the important stuff. I'm so glad. Thank you guys. Every question is an honor. So thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you
the
so much
best.
for coming on. All right, well, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.